you could call it a mountain, but you could also call it like a terrain that goes at a really extremely high altitude. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? At an angle maybe, 15 to 20 degree angle maybe. It kind of
Okay.
looks like that, but
So gentle angle.
you know what I mean. Like there's no cliffs to fall off of at all. I mean, I've looked around on that and I'm like, dude, there is nothing that could happen there. It's just,
Okay.
but do me a favor and check that out. I think you'll find it very interesting. Like the terrain itself is what screws these guys' theories up. It really does. It messes them up because you could say that about anybody in the Rocky Mountains or you know somewhere that's
Mm.
mountainous like that, but you can't say it here. This is it's weird. Just where they found that tent, there is no way that somebody had their ribs broken like that because they fell off of a cliff. And then
Okay.
they were the two people were actually in two different areas. They weren't in the same areas. Wait, no, actually, no, wait. It was in a ravine, so they could have been together. So
The
the
ravine, so books could fall.
well the ice they were actually under ice in this ravine, and it was
Like
the reason why it took them so long was because it was coming to spring, and
under ice, so they could have been crushed.
abrasions, dude. Let me point that word out. Abrasions. Okay, cuts, abrasions, freaking like horrible abrasions,
Okay.
not like scratches and stuff. Okay,
No,
these
if enough things fall on you, you got to have to use this and
snow, dude, snow.
yeah. Well, snow can be quite heavy, depending on
No,
density and.
not enough to bust your face up, man. I mean, these.
Have you ever been hit
I've been hit
by
by a snowball.
a snowball?
Yeah, that was had ice in it, and you know what? It was thrown at me. Okay, it was thrown at me. It wasn't laying on me. That's another point that's a big issue too.
But that's just a matter. That's just depending on force.
Yeah,
We've got a
okay.
big flurry of snow, very dense snow hitting you uh, in a quick succession.
In a situation like that, I could understand deterioration. I could understand the skin
Oh,
and everything, kind of withering away and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Uh, I
Like with
don't
the
know. I would
eyeballs.
say ice and snow would preserve skin up to a point.
Well, the water thing with uh, that the Benina, they said that well, I believe that was what her name was. She they said that the tongue and eyes, the cause for that was because her face was down into the water in the ravine, which was like a
Yeah,
puddle of water that was going by, and it was what caused her eyes to disappear. But then
yeah.
one that I also heard from a person that was into doing autopsies and stuff of that nature, and they said that doesn't coincide with the tongue though. The tongue wouldn't do that. It wouldn't deteriorate because it was in water.
Could break off though
It might,
if the water's cold enough.
but they would still find fragments of it, wouldn't they?
If they were looking for us,
Seriously, dude. Seriously. Like you just found a body and the tongue's missing. You're not going to look for it. Seriously.
or if you did a fair enough look search.
Well, the truth is this is the Soviet Union too, and everybody knows about Citizen X. They didn't really do that good of a job with his investigation either. So, and that's another thing to take into consideration as well. This was the Soviet Union. They weren't. as organized as what everybody thought they were back in the day. When it finally came out and everybody realized what was going on, they realized like they had a pretty bad system set up. That's why the wall fell. You know what I mean? So you do have to take that into consideration. The investigation was probably botched. There's probably a good chance.
Possibly, potentially.
So we are at that point where you want to break off at, and next time we'll come up with the next one because there's several anomalies that took place at the site, and these anomalies they added to the enigma of what had taken place there. No, I'm not going to get into it, but I'll give you guys basically a feed down on it. There were traces of radiation which was found on some of the hikers' clothing. That caused an issue. So we are going to start out there, and we'll get into some more stuff that involves the actual military and things that may have taken place when it comes to that, and maybe a cover-up. So anything else you want to say before we get this done?
No, I think really you should have covered the entire sort of environmental sort of aspects. Well, environment as in where they are and the cultures that or the people that were around them.
I wanted to just get that out of the way because like that was one big claim that a lot of people made about this situation, about the indigenous culture there, and I don't see it as being a logical explanation other than maybe not the Muncie, but the other ones. Maybe they did it, but other than that, I don't see it as...
Yeah, the speculation,
Yeah.
no evidence.
There was a lot of previous hatred there. You could tell from the history, you know. So with that, I guess we can go ahead and end this. We got like an hour and 50 minutes into it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, make comments, man. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Mark, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you before we get off here? Huh?
/Medworthy.
Yeah, /Medworthy. Minds.com/Medworthy. That's where you can find him. And we both hang out on Minds Chat too, so if you guys want to come in on Minds Chat, you can catch us there. We're also on Skype and Discord. I'm on Discord, he's on Discord, so I finally got Mark. Got Mark to finally get an account on Discord, so he's.
I will review my Discord feed once in a blue moon, once every month, maybe a bit more, but.
So we're always around if you guys want to talk to us. If you want to come on the show, we're constantly posting links that make the Skype as well as Discord accounts available. So feel free to join us and be a part of the conversation if you want to. It's like I said, this is probably one of the biggest mysteries of the 20th century, if not the biggest mystery. Now there was another incident that happened there, but I believe that was in the late 1800s with Nikola Tesla, where there's speculations that he created a ray gun, the Tesla ray gun, and there was a whole bunch of trees and landscape there that had been knocked down without any explanation. It's not in the same region, but it is in Siberia, so that's the reason why I say this could be of the 20th century, because I'm not too sure if that happened in the 20th century or not. So But that's what this is. This is going to be about the Dyatlov Pass. Last week I went through and I discussed the whole thing behind the indigenous culture that was there. They're the ones that was brought. That they were. There was allegations made that they could have possibly been involved with the deaths of these explorers, survivalists that ended up dying there at Dyatlov Pass, and they were the Munsee tribes. Now, the accusations that were made about them was eventually, let go of. But they did make accusations about them because they were an indigenous tribe, and they practiced paganism. And there was a situation that happened before that about with the Munsee and the Conti. Concerning their beliefs, and it was outlawed to practice it in the Soviet Union during that time, which caused problems with the Conti. Now, the Conti ended up fighting against the Soviet Union, so there was a lot of hatred going on there between the Soviets and the Conti tribes. Now, the Monty, I believe that they took the peaceful way out, and they're the ones who eventually were suspected of being a part of it. But eventually, those suspicions were laid to rest. Now, I went through a lot on that, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But I did want to bring it back up because after I had done last week's episode, I went and I did my Ancient Histories stream, and I was doing all of the research and pulling everything back together, or pulling everything up on that, and it concerned Mount Fuji. And it just seemed odd because, and it wasn't planned either, but like with this one, it has to do with the Dyatlov Pass incident. And the mountain that they were at was, in English, it would be called the Dead Mountain. And these tribes, the Munsee and the Conti, they worshipped at this mountain. Now, later on, and mind you, like I said, I didn't plan this. This just happened. It also, I started doing research on Mount Fuji because I've been wanting to do something concerning the suicide forest. So what I decided to do is, instead of just focusing on the suicide forest, I would point out Mount Fuji, because Mount Fuji, or the suicide forest, is just right there below Mount Fuji. So I went in there and I started doing the research, and I just found a whole lot of pagan there's a whole lot of paganism that could be involved with the things going on Mount Fuji, which, by the way, is worshipped by mountain worshippers. So that makes two mountain worshippers that I actually pulled up and wanted to do a show about. And I thought that was kind of interesting how that happened and played out. So basically what I am doing now is trying to figure out what's going on here. Actually, I think I'm having problems with my internet again, which is not cool. Supposedly everything's holding up, but I am having a weak signal.